So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are going back in time. It is a throwback rebuild, but it is not in the LeBron era. It's not in the Kobe and Shaq era. Today, we're using a custom roster and rebuilding the 2015-16 Boston Celtics. This was kind of the beginning of the Isaiah Thomas era in Boston. This was his first full season with the team. Obviously went on to have a great couple of seasons with them. Was an MVP candidate, all that fun stuff before they ended up making the trade for Kyrie. But yeah, I found a custom roster that looked relatively good. There are a couple flaws in it that we're going to go over in just a second, but I really like going back, especially at kind of a dead time of year like we're in right now, and just doing some other eras, some really fun kind of rebuilds that we don't typically see on this channel. So really excited for this one today. Of course, we can definitely get into more teams from 2015, 2016. I mean, this was just basically like, I don't want to say my childhood because I was, 15, 16, but man, good times back these years. But this one's going to be tough today. This team's not good. Of course, as always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. And no, just because I'm doing a rebuild in 2015-16 doesn't mean the LeBron era rebuilds are going to stop. Doesn't mean we're not ever going to get into the Kobe and Shaq era, anything like that. Just thought it would be a fun kind of Friday video, laid back. Very much looking forward to it. So really big thank you to all of you guys. The video ideas have been absolutely fantastic lately, and very much looking forward to doing more of you guys' ideas. So without further ado, man, this team, as I mentioned, not good. Let's get into it. All right, so one of the bigger flaws, if you will, that I noticed right away when I hopped in going over this roster is that we're already 3 games into the 2015-16 season. Now, I didn't do that. It's just how the roster kind of starts when you load into it. And although it's not a huge deal, it is a little bit unfortunate, but we're starting with 3 extra wins. I guess that's a good thing, relatively speaking. So let's dive into it, go over this roster right now. As I mentioned, this was IT's first full season with the Celtics. He's the highest overall on this team. He's on a very nice contract, which I definitely do appreciate. So position by position, Isaiah Thomas, obviously going to be my starting point guard. We have Marcus Smart here, who I believe will be in his 3rd season with the team. No, it's just his 2nd. My bad. 2014 draft. But he's here, obviously developed into a really good player, won a Defensive Player of the Year while with Boston, and now he's moved on to Memphis, injured, but I love Marcus. I really do. We have Terry Rozier here, who's a 69 overall, which I found a little strange. The man was a first-round pick. Feels a little bit low for a first-round pick, but hopefully he develops. Ended up being a pretty good player on the Miami Heat right now. Shooting guard spot, Avery Bradley, who that's not Avery Bradley. I guess he's just not in this game right now, but he was pretty good in his time with the Celtics. Defensive menace, just ultimately really good kind of glue guy for your team. Now, is he going to be the future shooting guard of this team? Probably not. Evan Turner is here, former, 3rd overall pick? 2nd overall pick. God, I forgot about that. May have some sort of role with the team throughout the course of this video. I believe is an expiring contract after this at 27 years old. So we'll see. James Young is here, somebody I thought was going to work out with the Celtics. Ultimately turned into pretty much nothing. Same thing can be said about RJ Hunter, although he was a March Madness legend. Small forward spot. Jay Crowder had some time with the Celtics that he was pretty good. Kind of just a 3-and-D guy. Space the floor, play some defense, ultimately fit what they were looking for at that time, but we'll see how long he lasts here. Power forward spot, Jared Sullinger, Ohio State product, probably not going to be any sort of long-term plan for me here. He never really turned into anything. I think we're all very much aware of that. He was a 21st overall pick. Interesting. Amir Johnson, good veteran presence. Again, it is a little bit unfortunate we don't have like these actual players like builds in this game. It's just like auto-generated players here with like similar names, numbers, all that stuff. Jordan Mickey never really turned much anything. Jonas Jerebko had a decent enough NBA career. I feel like he played with the Warriors for a little while, but again, not much there. And then the center spot, Kelly Olynyk and Tyler Zeller. These were kind of my centers growing up, if you will. It was not pretty. They definitely were not the best rebounding centers in the world, but it's what they had to deal with. So something that I also really do like about this roster is the fact that I can already tell the draft pick situation is kind of up to date. As I'm sure many of you know, the Celtics obviously made a whole lot of trades, a couple blockbusters, but of course the big one being sending Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Jason Terry to the Brooklyn Nets, and in return getting back a whole bunch of picks that led them to where they are today with Jayson, Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and the rest of that crew. So super excited. We do have those picks. This is the 2016 draft class that's going to be coming up here. You can see it. I'm sure many of you know it. Ben Simmons went 1st overall. Brandon Ingram went 2nd. Jaylen Brown went 3rd. So the Celtics had that 3rd overall pick. I have no idea where we're going to fall today, but very interesting situation nonetheless. I might have 1 or 2 trades before we kick off year 1, but I know damn well we're not going to be good. So let's get into some moves. Our first trade of today's video is going to come with the Houston Rockets, and it's going to look like this. Evan Turner's heading over to Houston. In return, we're going to be picking up Corey Brewer and a 2020 first-round draft pick. Now, obviously, any sort of draft pick is a nice asset when you're a rebuilding team. It's not going to be super valuable. James Harden's here in Oklahoma City, in Houston, and they're pretty good. So, I mean, it's unfortunate we're never going to see a 2020 draft, but it's good to have an asset. And Corey Brewer's going to come in. He's going to be the backup to Jay Crowder. Evan Turner obviously was our backup shooting guard. You'll see why I'm moving him in just a second. The real reason is that he's 27 on an expiring deal. Just doesn't really fit the timeline for me here. So I'm going to take the draft pick. Corey Brewer's going to come in and be my backup small forward. And as you can see, I moved Terry Rozier to the shooting guard spot. He's going to back up Bradley. Rookie year, multi-year deal. I know the overall isn't quite there, but again, we're not really trying to be competitive right now. It's LeBron's Eastern Conference at this point. We all very much know that. So that's cool with me. Brewer will be a backup, as I mentioned, multi-year deal. It's nice to see behind Crowder. Other than that, I think maybe Jared Sullinger's a guy I could look to move. Expiring deal, obviously never turned into much in the NBA. And then the center spot's interesting just because, again, we have a team option here for Olynyk. Tyler Zeller's expiring, but I don't really know how much value there really is there. So just curious, what does a hypothetical Jared Sullinger trade look like? I mean, again, probably not a lot in terms of value, but 77 overall is not nothing. So if this game wants to load, I would appreciate it, right? I mean, anytime now. I forgot. Sometimes when you hop into like these created roster by like users, sometimes you run into issues like this. I see Joakim Noah, who's 30, not in his prime at all. Could go ahead and make a trade for Chris Kardashian. I actually did a Brooklyn Nets rebuild yesterday and got him, so I don't really want to get him 2 videos in a row. Trevor Booker makes a little bit more sense. Also expiring, but also getting a draft pick I feel like is kind of a home run there. So probably the deal I'm going to take. I don't really think there's going to be anything that's going to beat that. So let's go ahead and pull off a trade. I do see Steven Adams here. I like Steven Adams a lot, but no. All right, we're going to go ahead and make this trade with the Utah Jazz. We're going to pick up Trevor Booker, a 2019 first-round pick. And at this point, I'm just going to kind of let the roster run itself out. It's not going to be a good season. I know we're technically already 3-0, but ignore that. We're going to set this team up the way I want to. I'll see you guys at the rotation. After a couple smaller end moves, we've gone ahead and finalized this rotation for our first season here in Boston. As I mentioned, I don't expect to be very good. Now, none of these Celtics teams were actually like complete dog shit. Isaiah Thomas was literally that good with the Celtics. And I don't know how it's going to go today. Of course, it is nice having other teams' draft picks, but I'm just not very confident in this group right now. I'm not going to lie to you. They were super fun to watch. Nobody had any expectations. But ultimately, I'd rather be bad, have better draft picks, and go from there. So here's how it's going to look. Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, Amir Johnson, Kelly Olynyk. Probably not any surprises 1 through 5 there. Marcus Smart will be my 6th man off the bench. Again, want him to develop as much as possible here in only his 2nd season. You got Trevor Booker, you have Corey Brewer, Tyler Zeller, and then Terry Rozier rounding out this starting 5. So I don't know why Anthony Sterling's the head coach. He was never the Celtics head coach. I don't even know who that is. It was Brad Stevens at this time. So yeah, I guess Anthony Sterling. Welcome to the Celtics. 3-0 is the record now. I suspect we're probably not going to maintain that pace whatsoever. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. We wrap up our first season here in Boston with a very interesting record of 41-41. Now, in real life, this team won 48 games, but 41 wins is more than I was kind of hoping for here in 2K, but it happened. We're not as bad as I thought we were, rather unfortunately, because it kind of hurts the whole long-term output of this video, but more of a challenge. I guess maybe you guys will enjoy just a little bit more. So LeBron, MVP, damn near triple-double here in his 2nd stint in Cleveland. It's insane. Joel Embiid, your Rookie of the Year. Manu Ginobili, 6th man. DeAndre Jordan's your depoy. Zach LaVine in a Timberwolves jersey. Most improved. Otis Newton, 76 wins. Well, I guess LeBron and the Cavs are pretty goddamn good. Are there just no like real coaches here? I don't know. I rarely do this, but I'll look at the all NBA, all defensive, all that stuff because I just want to see. It's a good memories here. You got Jimmy, Dame, KD, Harden, Curry on 2. On 3, Wall, Wade, Drummond, Kawhi, and IT does make it. So probably had a pretty good season for us here. All defensive first team, Butler, Wade. You can take a look right there. All defensive second. All rookie, got a couple guys here, and then all rookie second. There you go. Okay, let's get into it because 41 wins is probably a playoff spot. We are the... Wait, why the hell is the play in here? Okay, well, that's another kind of fault of this roster, if you will. I mean, if we don't end up making the playoffs, I'm not going to complain. But obviously, the play-in was not an actual thing at this point in time. The play-in to me is still so weird. I'm not going to give a whole speech right now, but I think there some rule originally when the play-in was first introduced that if you were like, I think it was 6. If you were 6 games under 500 and you were still like a 9 or a 10 seed, didn't you just not get a bid to the play-in? Because that's what it should be, right? If you're in a very good Western Conference right now and you're like hanging on to dear life 6 games under 500 and some team who's like 5 games over 500 somehow has a shitty night, loses to you, do you really not belong in the playoffs more than that team? I don't know. I just think there's a limit to how far we can go with these kind of things. Here's a look at the Western Conference. Portland does take the 1 seed. Here is a look at the stats on the season. Isaiah Thomas was our leading scorer. You got Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, Olynyk, Trevor Booker, Smart, Brewer, Rozier, Johnson, and Zeller. Rebounds per game is going to be Johnson, and assist was IT. So we are technically in the play-in. I don't know if there just wasn't a way for them to get rid of it or whatever it is, but it's here. So Michael Carter-Williams, Chris Middleton, got an 84 overall Giannis, Jabari Parker. That doesn't really look like Jabari. Greg Monroe. This was an interesting area in Milwaukee. Like pre-superstar Giannis was fun. All right, we are in the playoffs. We are going to be the 7th seed. We have the Toronto Raptors here. Lowry, DeRozan, Carroll, Patterson, Valanciunas, get Bismack Biyombo. Obviously, we are, 4 years before their actual championship. But this team is still good. They are one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference throughout this period. And I fully suspect that they'll probably beat us. So we are down 3-0, and we end up getting swept. Unfortunate, but not surprising, to say the least. I didn't think we were a playoff team. We snuck in. Cavs go on to win it all. Actually, they actually did in real life this year. LeBron Finals MVP. They did not have to come back from being down 3-1, though. They just won in 5. So, yeah, this was LeBron's one and only championship in Cleveland. And at this rate, he won 76 games his first season. Doesn't look like the foot's coming off the gas. He's going to be a big pain in the ass. Kevin Garnett was a Toronto Raptor. All right, Steve Nash, Tim Duncan, Paul Pierce. Oh, my God. A lot of legends of the game calling it a career. I have a suspicion this is going to be a very deep Hall of Fame class. Actually, only 5. Paul Pierce, not a Hall of Famer. All right, 2K. I see you. Jersey retirements, got a couple names there, notably. Historic changes, some things for the Jazz, some things for the Kings. We'll take a look at the draft lottery. I know we have a couple other teams' draft picks, and oh my God, they're projected to be very, very good. As we were projected to have 2 top 5 picks, but so are the Philadelphia 76ers. So it is the Sixers. Oh my God, we are one. Oh my God, that's insane. We were one off the actual top 3. In real life, it was Sixers, Lakers, Celtics. Today, Sixers, Celtics, Lakers. We also have the 4th overall pick, so that's obviously awesome. And I think at this point, we are probably not going to be retaining Anthony Sterling and his services. I have no idea who this is. He's probably not even a real person. So this could be a style for video. He's actually listed as an assistant GM here. Who are the head coaching options? Not great. Nate McMillan's here. I mean, none of these guys really get me too excited. I don't know who John Hamilton is. Isn't he like did he sign the Declaration of Independence? That name sounds familiar. I don't know. Rick Carlisle's here. The ratings are just dog shit, though. Mike Woodson's here. Yeah, I don't want to spend a lot of time on head coach. I'm just going to sign whoever the hell John Hamilton is. He has the best ratings. Might as well throw the man an offer. So John Hamilton, 4-year, $38 million contract. Welcome to Boston. Okay, up to the draft with 2 top 4 picks. That's obviously fantastic. We also have 30 from the Cavs, and we have 2 really good second-round picks and 2 not-so-good second-round picks. So I have a couple ideas in mind here. I'm definitely going to be at least drafting one kind of higher-end player, so hang with me. We're going to attempt to trade for our center of the future. He ended up being pretty good. He's only a 78 overall right now, but Nikola Jokic would obviously be a fantastic addition to this team. Just going over his numbers in his second season, about 16.5 points a game, 8 boards, 6.5 assists. Obviously turned into one of, if not the best player in the NBA at this point. So I know it's only a 3-year rebuild, but I have a sneaky, suspicious feeling that he's going to develop and hopefully be really good for the future of this video. Now, he only is 2.5 stars. So if I could hang on to both these picks, that would be kind of the ideal situation. I'd give up basically every other pick I have in this draft. I just don't know if it's going to be possible. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume I probably have to give up at least one more player or pick that's relatively valuable. Like, do you want RJ Hunter? Do you want... oh, damn it, he's expired. Shit, everybody's expired. That's a problem. I don't want to part with Scary Terry because I think he's relatively good, but I think I'd rather hang on to the draft pick, honestly. They still won't do it. Okay, we'll give up one more first. We have a lot of them, so I'll give up my first. I'll give up this Jazz first we acquired. They still won't do it. Holy shit, maybe I will have to give up like the 4th overall pick. All right, what other pick could be good? This Rockets pick. That's not valid. Holy shit. I guess they really value Nikola Jokic, so I guess they are doing something right there. I don't blame you necessarily. I mean, Hunter, no. Okay. Fuck. I don't want to give up all these assets, but honestly, I want Jokic. Hey, great. Okay, I'm super happy to have Nikola Jokic here. He's going to be my center for the remainder of this video. I'm just hoping that overall definitely goes up a lot. But super pumped to have him here. Now we still do have 2 top 4 picks. So you know what? Let's go ahead and draft 2 guys in the top 4. Now, I'm not going to make any other draft picks because we already have some young talent in this roster. Obviously, I don't need all of these picks. Oh, man, these are just hard to get rid of, aren't they? Okay, you know what? I'll hang on to the first and then just let me get rid of, can I just do this? Can I get rid of, like, please just offer me future picks, somebody. Oh my God. I can't get rid of them. I'll try in the draft, but you know what? We're just going to see. Now, I have an interesting question. Is Ben Simmons going to be like the #1 guy? Obviously, real life, if we go back to a complete 180, he wouldn't be. He had a couple good seasons. I was an all-star. Does he go #1? He is. Ben Simmons going to the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, a very much bigger question kind of comes up. Who do I want here? Brandon Ingram was the #2 overall pick in real life. He's a very good player right now. Jaylen Brown obviously is a Celtic in real life and was the #3 pick. I don't know. I'm kind of torn right now. Like, my heart wants to say JB. Is Ingram the smarter pick, though? Like, positionally? I still feel like shooting guard's a big need, though. You know what? You can call it my Celtics bias. You also have Jamal Murray here, but honestly, Isaiah Thomas probably going to be my point guard the entire video. You can call it my Celtics bias. You can call it whatever you want. I'm sticking with my man, JB. I love Jaylen Brown. So we're going to take him #2 overall. I'm assuming the Lakers go Ingram like they did in real life. And at this point, we have another decision to make. You know, who are we interested in going out and trading for? Or excuse me, drafting, not trading for. I think Domantas Sabonis makes the most logical sense. Him and Jokic in any sort of front court would be insane. Now, this draft class is not very deep. So, you know what? Domantas Sabonis is going to be my guy. Honestly, I could have gone ahead and maybe taken a shot with Jamal Murray, but I don't know. I don't really need a point guard. Oh, boy. Zubats is an option. I think he's probably the most logical there. And then can I just trade the seconds now? Does anybody want him? Oh, my God. Nobody wants second-round picks. Okay. I don't even want Bjelica. Just take it. And then I know this is so stupid, but, like, honestly, none of these players here are going to really be valuable to me whatsoever. So CJ Watson, I'm good. Awesome. Okay. Simming through the end of the draft, obviously got two really good players here with Jaylen Brown and Domantas Sabonis. Relatively solid NBA player here in Ivica Zubac. So I'm good. I'm good with it. All right. We are not going to bring back James Young or Jordan Mickey. There's just no value there. But Smart and Olynyk definitely coming back here. And we might actually have some money to spend. I'm not going to qualify Tyler Zeller. We have Olynyk. We traded for Jokic. Makes no sense. Oh my God, LeBron is in free agency. Now, why is LeBron restricted? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. He has 25 offers, only one real offer, and it's from the Cavs. Now, LeBron would not be restricted right now. That makes no sense, but I'm not going to go in and, like, fix it. Hypothetically speaking, we could probably find a way to get the money. We just don't. Is the game just not giving me money? Look at the cap room. I have money. Is this game just going to be weird today? I guess it is. Maybe I have to renounce all my cap holds. Who the hell knows? I think I'd rather kind of focus on the trade market right now. I think in some sense of it, I'd like to get an upgrade at my shooting guard spot. Or maybe just moving him, because I think Jaylen Brown can play the 3, he can play the 2. And then I want to figure out the starting power forward spot. I think Sabonis would be fine. I just don't know if his development's going to get him to the level that, or anywhere near where he is right now. So maybe one more trade. Oh my God. We just pulled off another blockbuster, and we went ahead and picked up Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, obviously, he's not MVP Giannis, but he is still very, very good. He's an 84 overall, only going to go up. And in my opinion, in the current NBA, we have the best 2 players in this team. Well, like current, you know what I'm saying. In the NBA in 2024, the best 2 players right now, in my opinion, maybe top 3. I mean, you got Luka in there. I'm not getting into it, but we have 2 very good players with Jokic and Giannis. And I know they're much younger. I know the overalls aren't quite there, but oh my God, what the I know what this does. What the hell? What are we in the first game of 2K? And he's coming off an insane season. I don't know why they're trading him now. The 3-point percentage is dog water, but other than that, he is insane. I am pumped. I am super excited. Now, that still doesn't figure out our power forward issue, but honestly, if I have to start Sabonis for a season, I will. But we have Thomas, Brown, Giannis, Sabonis, and Jokic as our starting 5. Just absolutely insane. And I don't know why we still don't have money. Kind of weird. I have no interest in retaining RJ Hunter's services, so thank you very much, Miami Heat. All right, we need to figure out a backup shooting guard, a backup small forward, potentially a starting power forward, and then we can go from there. So I don't know. Do we just not have money? Like, we should have money here, hypothetically. I don't know why it says we don't. You can see all the cap space sitting right there. The game's just being dumb as all hell. But whatever. Okay, who do I want to sign? Like, do I have money for, like, Batum? Okay, so I have, like, Nick Batum money if I want it, which actually might not be the worst idea in the world. I could also maybe go out and sign a guy like Bradley Beal, but no, I don't have the phone. What is wrong with this fucking game right now? I don't know. I'm going to make an offer to Nick Batum. Obviously, he'd be the backup behind Giannis, so that figures out our backup small forward spot. Also could just move Giannis to the 4. Wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. So let's just see. Is the game going to... No, it's just not going to let me sign anybody. What is wrong with this game right now, dude? Why? I don't know. It must be broken. So I'm gonna have to find a better roster in that aspect. But other than that, it's not really a bad roster. It's just it's very like it's finicky. That's the good way to describe it. We're bringing in Kent Bazemore, which kind of solidifies my idea to move Giannis to the 4. He's going to take a 1 overall hit. I'm not terribly worried about it. Honestly, it makes a little bit more sense. His shooting's still not here. I don't really want him running the 3. So Giannis and Sabonis going to be Batum and Bazemore. I have to figure out a backup for Mr. Jaylen Brown. But other than that, we are kind of all set heading into our final season. You know what? Screw it. We'll bring in J.R. Smith. Let's add a little bit of shooting off the bench, a little bit of veteran experience. I'm excited. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. After what I would consider one of the more insane off seasons I've ever had in 2K, I am super excited heading into year number 2 here in Boston. Isaiah Thomas, Jaylen Brown, Nicholas Batum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic is my 1 through 5. It's nice to see a couple overall jumps here with Jokic and Giannis. J.R. Smith going to be my 6th man off the bench. You got Marcus Smart developing nicely behind him. Kelly Olynyk, the backup to Jokic. You got Kent Bazemore in here, who we brought in. And then Sabonis only playing 10 minutes a night. I think that if this was like a 5, 6, 7 year rebuild, maybe give him a few more minutes, let him develop, but ultimately at a 74 overall, he's probably not going to get there, unfortunately. So I am excited. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. It is another MVP for LeBron James, but more importantly, we go 57-25. We won 41 games last year, so a 16-game jump is a very notable improvement, and obviously we have a very good team. LeBron's your MVP, though. Brandon Ingram, Rookie of the Year, a little bit of a bigger role, I would assume, than what Jaylen Brown had here. He beat out Ben Simmons. Good for you. Clint Capella, 6th Man of the Year. Anthony Davis, it's still in New Orleans, man. I miss these days. Is your depoy. Norm Powell, Most Improved. Otis Newman, 67 wins. Oh, man. I know it's not going to happen because he was just a free agent, but honestly, I think the only way we have any shot is, 1, a huge upset, obviously, but second would just be, LeBron somehow leaves, but probably also not going to happen. And I know a huge upset's funny to say when you have, this team, but honestly, if these guys were all in their primes, it wouldn't be a huge upset, but just saying. Those are the points, the rebounds, and the assists. Let's get into it. We are facing a play-in team, although the play-in wouldn't actually be here. It is the 7-seeded Detroit Pistons, Reggie Jackson, KCP, Stanley Johnson. That's a blast from the past. Tobias Harris, Andre Drummond. Got Nene coming off the bench. Drummond's good. I don't really think this team moves me too much. So we take a quick 3-0 lead, and we wrap it up in a sweep. 6-seeded Chicago Bulls. We have Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Mike Dunleavy, Taj Gibson, Pau Gasol. I'm not going to lie to you. I tried to make a trade for Jimmy Butler. Wasn't happening. The value was just too high. And I pivoted in a different direction, went with Giannis. So just kind of funny to think about. But nonetheless, we are here in the Eastern Conference semifinals. It's a 1-1 series. They go up 2-1. We tie it up at 2 apiece. Up 3-2. Eastern Conference Finals time. It is us. And yeah, I mean, there's just not much to say. I forgot I traded. Wait, did I trade Avery Bradley there? Who did I trade Avery Bradley for? I have no idea. Didn't I trade him for Giannis? Or was he in Jokic? He was in one of those packages, I thought. I don't know. He's here now. That's all that's important. And yeah, this team won 67 games, 10 more than us. They have the best player of all time. They're pretty goddamn good. So let's see what we can do. Down 2-0. We do win game 3, lose game 4, do fight back a little, and that is going to be all she wrote. It is a Trailblazers and a Cavaliers finals. Oh, good God. I wish you luck, Damian Lillard. Cavs go back-to-back. LeBron James is your final. I mean, just look at those numbers. What the fuck? All right, man. Final offseason. Now, obviously, something we do have going for us is the fact that we're hopefully going to get some really nice progression out of Jokic and Giannis. Now, I don't know exactly what that's going to be. Oh, we're changing the uniforms of the Celtics. They didn't really change. Is everybody doing it? Okay. Oh, you know what we're doing? We're just getting Nike logos. Nike fucked up the NBA. Use timeout system. They put in timeouts in 2017. I wasn't aware. No, I don't know if his challenges weren't a thing yet. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe advancing. No, advancing the ball. No. I have no idea. Lottery time. I know we have the Nets pick. It's projected number 2, which is fantastic, and it sits right at number 2. Beautiful. Okay, number 2 overall pick's obviously great. I'm fine with Hamilton. He has good ratings. Probably the best guy available. So up to the draft. This is 2017 draft. Obviously, in real life, they drafted Jayson Tatum 3rd overall. In order, it was... why am I fucking blanking right now? Oh, Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, then Tatum. All right, so I don't really know who I'm going to draft here. Part of me wants to just take Tatum, but I feel like some of you are going to be like, don't get both the guys that the Celtics actually got. So, honestly, I'll probably draft whichever one of these two who are the 2 best, in my opinion, from this draft class. Number 2 overall. So, I'm assuming, does Tatum go 1? No, Donovan... Fuck. I'm going to get a lot of shit, and I know it, but small forward's also a relatively big position of need. Now, Tatum's not going to start for me, but he is going to be here. And you know what? Sue me. Who cares? I won't do it going forward, I promise. But I do want Jayson Tatum now. Look, he's the best player from the draft class, whether you like it or not. 78 overall, probably going to be a bench piece for us. Marcus Smart is still here. So I think at this point in time, obviously more so Giannis, but Olynyk would be a nice piece to retain. And I'd just like to make sure. Oh my God, was that Steph Curry? Holy shit. We don't have money, even though it says we have money. I don't know what's wrong with this game right now. I'm just thankful we have bird rights on Giannis, and the game's going to let me pay him. But again, you can see the cap space going down. We have the money, hypothetically speaking. So I'm going to bring both these guys back. They both accept. And yeah, I think at this point, I wouldn't mind making some sort of upgrade. I think obviously bringing in Jayson Tatum, even as a rookie, is a nice addition, but I just don't think he's quite like on pace, on par with some of the other guys. So let's make one more big trade. Okay, we just made a very big trade with the Los Angeles Clippers and picked up Mr. Blake Griffin. So adding another star to this team is, I think, a little bit necessary just with the way the output is on this team. We're going to move Giannis back to the small forward spot. Again, I know the shooting's not there, but you know what? We'll fucking make it work. So at this point in time, we have Giannis and Tatum as my small forwards. Griffin and Sabonis. I did trade I forgot to show you guys the full trade. It was literally every pick we have left: Batum, Bazemore, Kelly Olynyk, and yeah, that was it. So I do have to figure out a new backup center. I think I wouldn't mind maybe making a J.R. Smith trade. I think is a little old at this point. So if there's any sort of, whether it's a center or a shooting guard, I don't know. I mean, I see Dario Saric here. Actually had a really good year. No, we're going to pick up Dario, and whoever's overall goes down less between him and Sabonis is going to play my center spot. So Saric goes down 1. Sabonis goes actually up 1. So that answers that question. Now, with whatever money we have remaining, I am going to go ahead and sign a backup for Mr. Jaylen Brown here. I know he's 30. God, a lot of these are decent options. Allen's going to regress, but I think defensively it does make sense. So, you know what? Him and Marcus Smart next to each other. Actually, who are the point guards? Delvedova? No. All right, I'm going Tony Allen. Maybe age-wise, not the smartest thing in the world, but we do have a lot of young pieces on this team. So this is it heading into the final season. What a fucking God squad, dude. We're a very good team. There's no really doubting that. Unfortunately, LeBron is still in the Eastern Conference, and if you could go back, could just imagine, even at this, like, these ages that a lot of these guys are, if LeBron somehow beat this and still came out of the East, I mean, I don't even think there's a conversation for GOAT, but oh my God, this team is insane on paper. Isaiah Thomas, Jaylen Brown, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Blake Griffin, and Nikola Jokic is our 1 through 5. Mind-blowingly good. Smart will be my 6th man off the bench. Tatum going to be behind him. Wearing 44 is disgusting. Tony Allen, who we brought in, or I guess brought back. Tony Allen was once a Celtic. Domantas Sabonis, backup center. Dario Saric, backup power forward. So, very good team. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The only thing I'm just worried about right now is LeBron James. So, I will see you guys at the end of year number 3. It worked. Whatever the hell we did to put this team together, it worked. At least in the regular season. Nikola Jokic won an MVP. More importantly, we won 76 games. Which I would say is the greatest record of NBA history, but, you know, the Cavs did that in year 1 of this video. This video is nuts. That's what I'm going to say. But Jokic MVP, I mean, very good numbers. I don't know if those are MVP numbers, but you know what? Somebody besides LeBron winning, it's cool with me. Donovan Mitchell went number 1 overall. He's your rookie of the year. Clint Capella, 6th man. Andre Drummond's your depoy buddy. Healed, most improved. Yeah, 76 wins going to take it for Mr. John Hamilton, as I'm assuming we're the 1 seed. Is that a safe bet? 60 wins still for the Cavs, but by far we are, you know, on paper at least, probably the best team in the league. Oh, man. I don't really care who did what, honestly. It doesn't matter. We're going to hopefully run through everybody and then have a chance with the Cavs. I don't know. I think, hopefully, ideally, anyways. I forgot to go over the team. Kemba, Lamb, Ingles, Chris. I mean, there's just no fucking way they win a game. Okay, they do. Moving on to the Miami Heat here in the semis. Langston Galloway. Throwback, man. Dwayne Wade, Justice Winslow, Chris Bosh, Hassan Whiteside. You got KCP coming off the bench. Let's see what happens here in the second round. Also, wasn't Dwayne, did he go back to Miami like he did in real life? That's pretty cool. Surprise, surprise, we are facing the Cleveland Cavaliers here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, I think it's safe to say they have the best player in the series, even if Jokic did just win an MVP. But I think we are just a better team all around. I do think that. I know Kyrie's fantastic. I know Kevin Love's good. We're better. We have to be. Okay, they do win game 4, but we win in 5. Okay, we are on to the NBA Finals. We're taking on the Spurs, who have kind of reshaped their team. Mike Conley's an interesting addition. Still have Danny Green, Kawhi, Aldridge, Tyson Chandler. I don't really think there's a chance this team beats us, but they did win game 1. We win 2, we win 3, and we are back to Boston here on home floor for game 5. Can we close out the San Antonio Spurs? 2 of the greatest franchises in NBA history. Owen at it, and yeah, we're going to kick the living shit out of them. I know this video has been long as hell. Might as well get a few minutes of gameplay. I still can't believe how great this team is on paper. Now, obviously, I have the benefit of knowing how a lot of the careers turned out for these guys, but just seeing it is just so crazy to me, man. It is. It's absolutely nuts. And I'm super happy about this team we put together. It would have been awesome to win more than one championship, but winning two would have been great, but winning one is fine. I think a lot of these guys, obviously, are relatively young. I hate these little emotes that pop up. It's because whoever's settings I'm using for this, it's royally fucking with me. I mean, I changed a couple things to what I typically had, but just the suggested passing and all that bullshit is just so annoying. Why is that auto-generatedly on? Giannis, thank you. Oh my god. Yeah, man, we're going to close out the Spurs on our home floor here at TD Garden. This would technically be banner 18, which they are still chasing for the Celtics, and it'd be exactly 10 years apart, right? It's 2018 right now. They won their 17th in 2008, so I think we would be, technically. Aldridge gets the good board. He puts it back, but it's just a little bit too late at this point. So we'll do one more offensive possession. As I mentioned, I know this video has been long enough. It's a shame that Jokic fouled out. I can see Sabonis trying to check in right now. So we'll just continue to use your Giannis right here. And good luck. Good night. If you guys watch my videos almost on a daily basis, I want you to let me know something. Is this the greatest team I've ever put together? There have been some really good ones going all the way back to 2K16, but this is definitely going to be in the conversation for one of the greatest teams I've ever had. Now, the overalls might not say it, just because a lot of these guys still wouldn't even be at their peak, but just mind-blowing to think about, hypothetically, everybody on this team in their peak. I mean, I couldn't imagine it, but no. Nonetheless, insane video. Super happy that we finished this one out with a championship. If we didn't, I would have been so disappointed. But yeah, kind of as I mentioned opening this video, we're in a very weird part of the NBA season right now where it's too early to do off-season rebuilds with the draft and free agency and all that stuff. But we're just in a weird spot. There's nothing to do. I've done the trading every player rebuilds. We have to do challenges and throwbacks right now. So I know the LeBron era rebuilds can get stale from time to time. Wanted to mix it up today, and I will continue to do so if you guys want to see it. So the biggest thing right now is finding rosters. If you guys have any good rosters, whether they're on Xbox, PlayStation, whatever it is, let me hear it down below in the comment section. I'll definitely whip up a couple rebuilds for you. So this one was a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.